Hi, how are we all doing today? I just made myself a mug of tea in my. You can read that. It says, like my coffee black, like my soul. It's not a true reflection of me, believe you me. So, how are we doing? All right. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my 3 month trip to Scotland. I went up in July and I came back near the end of October and had a really fantastic time. Uh, Yeah, there was bad days with the weather. I mean, heavy rain, strong winds, but it's the time of year, isn't it? I mean, summer was over, autumn. I mean, September was nice. August was a bit wet. I mean, I think it was the same down here in England. It was the same everywhere. I think July and we didn't have a summer basically. July and August was all rain. The best month of the year for me was June. I was here in Canterbury in June, and I was here for about a month, and it was great weather. So yeah, then I headed off to a dementia meeting hosted by Rob and Lynn. They're on YouTube. So it was a charity weekend, and yeah, that was good. Made a few new friends there with people. There was quite a few. There must have been, I don't know, well over 500 motorhomes and caravans, camper vans, lots and lots. So yeah, that was good. And then I, after that, left on the Sunday about around about midday, headed north up through Lancashire. I stopped just north of Garstang that night. That was just in a lay-by. Uh, a lot of truckers pulled in as well, but yeah, it was fine. It was one good night there, and then from there, from Garstang the following morning, headed up the M6 and ended up in Hoyk. And there's a great big car park in the centre of Hoyk. It's on Search for Sites. It's called Common Hall, Haugh, and there's no restrictions. It's free parking, and they actually provide an Elson point, so you can empty your chemical toilet, and also a freshwater tap. And it was all that's all being provided by the local community. So that was good. And then from Hoyk, after I left there, I headed over towards Berwick-on-Tweed. Had a wander around there. I didn't stay the night, just spent the day there. And then, yeah, I love Berwick-on-Tweed. Was very nice. Very a lot of historical places, old bridges. Obviously, you've got the Tweed River, the River Tweed. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, had a good time. Brilliant. Then from Berwick-on-Tweed, I headed up towards North Berwick. Well, I was gonna stop at Dunbar, but I sort of carried on past Dunbar and went into North Berwick. That was really good. Really, I stayed in a rugby club car park there. I think 2 nights. So that was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. So from Berwick-on-Tweed, and then I went into Edinburgh. I think I had four nights in Edinburgh. Stayed down. It was on Search for Sites again. It's called Fettes Avenue, Fettes, and it's right opposite the Police Scotland headquarters. So that was, yeah. So stayed there and then walked up to the. It was about a mile and a half walk, and it was all uphill, up to the Royal Mile and Princess Street. So that was good. Had a lovely time in Edinburgh. It felt good to be back again. I hadn't been there for over 20 years. So back in my days as a truck driver. But anyway, so left Edinburgh and then I went to the Kelpies. I think I had one night. I stayed 2 nights at the Kelpies, but not actually in the Kelpies. I found a little lay-by, little back road, and so I stayed there one night, and then the second night I actually went into the Kelpies, and I stayed in their car park. They charge £10 a night, and the only thing it's provided is toilets. That's it. So yeah, so I enjoyed that. And then I went over to the Falkirk Wheel. I think I had 2 or 3 nights at the Falkirk Wheel. 2 nights, I think. Left Falkirk Wheel and headed up towards Perth. And eventually I stayed at Stonehaven. That was nice. You park up just on the road opposite the Lido swimming pool. Unbeknown to me, people were going into the swimming pool at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, oh, they're mad, you know. But it was a heated pool. It was warm water and it was salt water. I found that out later after I'd left. I was chatting to somebody and they told me. Yeah, so after leaving Stonehaven, carried on up to Fraserburgh and stayed in a an air just outside, which is it was privately owned. It was a little cottage, and it was owned by a couple called Cecilia and Greg Freer, and Glen Buckty, I think you pronounce it, motorhome air stopover. So I stayed there 2 nights. It was £5 a night. If you wanted to empty your chemical toilet, you had to pay an extra £5. And so yeah, stayed with them, and then you could walk up to the shops that are now the supermarket, about a 15-20 minute walk away. Depends on how fast you walk. So yeah, so that was nice. And where the motorhome air is, right opposite, you've got the beach, and what they've done, they've cut through the grass, made like a little grass path, and they've got a couple of seats you could sit there, and then there's seals. If you're lucky, you can see some seals. Obviously, I went into Fraserburgh. Had a look around. I went to the lighthouse. I did lighthouse museum. I did a tour around the lighthouses, and yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was Kinnaird Head Lighthouse at Fraserburgh. So yeah, that you go in, you pay your entrance fee, have a look around inside the museum, gives you all the history of the lighthouses, etc. But also included in your fee is you get like nearly a 2 hour tour around the lighthouse. They show you inside, and then they take you outside. You walk around, have a look, and it's really good. And Fraserburgh, I like Fraserburgh. It was really nice. So after a couple of days, I left Fraserburgh. I drove along towards Macduff. Just drove through Macduff and Banff. I didn't stop. Yeah, so like I said, I didn't stop at Macduff or Banff. I just carried on and drove all the way to Lossiemouth, and that was a great stopover. They got 3 car parks on the seafront, Lossiemouth or in the town. But yeah, that was nice. I had to get my medication. I'm on high blood pressure tablets, so I had to go and register as a Scottish resident at a medical centre in Lossiemouth, and that took about a week. And then by the time I ordered my medication, because your NHS app doesn't work in Scotland, doesn't work in Northern Ireland either, and I'm assuming it doesn't work in Wales. So because if you're registered in England, you can only use the app in England. Obviously that's where your address is. So yeah, so eventually got on my medication. I spent a couple of weeks around Lossiemouth, Elgin and Berghead, and I loved every minute of it. It was great. Berghead is beautiful. It's a small little fishing sort of town, and it's lovely, and some of the locals were lovely. I met one guy, obviously he was retired, he was like in his 80s, and he was in the RAF, but he was also from Belfast, and he sort of grew up down the road from where I lived. Small world. So yeah, so that was good, and met him and his wife. He was very chatty, very friendly. As I say, ex-RAF. I think he said he spent 16 years in Singapore with the RAF. So yeah, it was good to meet him. Then after I left Lossiemouth, I drove onwards towards Inverness, and I had 4 nights at Dingwall Camping Caravanning Club. Then from Dingwall I went to Rosemarkie. Uh, Initially I booked 4 nights at Rosemarkie, but I ended up staying 8. The reason being was because of Storm Agnes, but in the end it didn't really affect where I was staying. I think it affected more down in the southwest of Scotland, around Dumfriesshire and that area. So after I left Rosemarkie, uh, headed up the A9 all the way to Wick, and I stayed at Wick at night for 1 night. And then from Wick I went on to John O'Groats. Yeah, from John O'Groats I drove to Thurso. I didn't bother doing any videos or anything at Thurso because I got there that night. It was by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was just non-stop rain till the next morning. So left Thurso, carried on around the coastline, past Doonray power station, all the way to Durness and Durness Bay. And I've done a video on it. Well, I've done videos on most of my Scottish trips, which you can look on my channel. So Durness Bay, absolutely gorgeous. Stayed at Sengo Sands campsite for 1 night, £18 including electric. So that was good. Left the next morning, and I carried on towards Ullapool. Some of the sights, the scenery, the mountains and everything, was just absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, on my way to Ullapool, going through Elpin, a little town or village, my camper van was struck by an oncoming motorhome coming the opposite direction. I got it all on my dash cam, but unfortunately can't read the number plate. The maddening thing about it was I do all my recording on my phone on the windscreen, and at that time when the vehicle hit my wing mirror, I wasn't recording on my phone, just my dash cam. And the dash cam, you could see the vehicle on the dash cam driving towards me, and you could see he was over the white line. And of course with motorhomes, they got a wider body at the back and they got extended mirror arms, so he just walloped straight in mine. It was just a mighty loud bang. The mirror just came straight in towards my driver's side window. Initially I stopped and looked back, and I could see he kept on going. He didn't even stop. I reported to the police Scotland, but there's not a lot they could do about it. Without a registration number, couldn't do anything. The insurance company as well, reported to them, and it was just, I'd have been worse off next year renewing my insurance policy, put it that way. So I didn't bother claiming. I just initially I was going to claim, but I cancelled it because I would have lost 3 years of my insurance with him, because my no claims weren't protected. I had to be with him for 4 years, and unfortunately I've only been with him 3.5. So next May in 2024 I will be getting my no claims protected. So that's it. So just bear that in mind, Yeah, so well peeved off, as you can imagine. Cost me a lot of money. Ended up in Ullapool that night. Well, I got there early afternoon. I'd say about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Paid my parking. You're right next to a Tesco supermarket, so that was quite handy. And it is a motorhome. It's in a lorry park, and I got bays all marked out for motorhomes, so that was quite good. And then I left Ullapool the next morning, as you'll see on the footage coming up. I'm just driving along the road, heading back to Dingwall. So yeah, and then I've added a little bit of footage at the end that I missed off from Durness Bay. It was just in the morning, the sunrise. I got up early in the morning to film it, but when I did the video of Durness Bay, I missed out this little segment, so I've added it on to the end of this video. So yeah, anyway, okie dokie. All right, so like I said, Scotland was absolute great. It was fantastic. It was a blast. And I mean that in no uncertain terms, but it was fantastic. People were great everywhere you went. So, but anyway, go to Scotland, have a great time, enjoy it. Just respect the area, respect the people around you. You won't have any hassle. I never had any hassle whatsoever. If anything, it was the opposite. People were so helpful and friendly. Couldn't do enough for you. Okie dokie. So, catch you again in the next one. All right. This is my last video of Scotland, by the way. So, there's no more after this. All right. Take care. Have a good day. Give us a thumbs up with the old subscribe. Help grow the channel. And leave a comment. Always appreciate a comment. Whether it's good or bad, negative or positive, I don't care. Just, anyway, that's it. Bye now. Bye. up already just to see the sunrise. There she is, the star of the show. Beautiful. Alright, see you later guys. Bye, bye bye. Have a great day.